Hey everyone! Thank you for tuning in to our weekly episode of the podcast series. It is where we further discuss different kinds of topics where each and every one of us can freely give their insights towards the environmental issue and, of course, give reliable information from the research that we have done before playing this on air. I am Geraldine Buisan and I am your host for today's episode. And for today, I'm so excited for the topic that we are going to discuss, which entitles the issue of solid waste management in different cities of Metro Manila. From the topic that I have mentioned a while ago, what comes to your mind first whenever you hear the word waste? Is it something that is included in our everyday living, or something that's still an evident issue in our society, or maybe a worldwide inevitable environmental issue?
According to Collins Dictionary, waste is a material which has been used and is no longer wanted. For example, because of the valuable or useful part of it has been taken out. In Metro Manila, we have a global problem nowadays, which is pollution present whenever we go in the world. Most of our habitats present in this earth may be filled with solid waste left by humans. Most trashes takes years to decompose, which causes a great damage in our environment. It may seem so impossible for us here in Manila to see a such place or an area with has no trash. This is the problem that I see every day, are every day.
First of all, there are many types of waste. This podcast will focus on solid waste. Solid waste, by definition in the Philippines, is any discarded household, commercial waste, non-hazardous institutional and industrial waste, street sweepings, construction debris, agricultural waste, and other non-hazardous, non-toxic solid waste, according to Republic Act 9003, or also known as the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000.
And for me, I think waste is not waste is anything that is not used. In other words, it's anything that we don't intend to keep. In fact, to get rid of. The term waste describes any substance that is discarded, unused, or unneeded. Things like plastic bottles and even food packaging are considered waste materials.
Now, what do you think is the reason why there is waste?
Since we might be wondering why there is waste, I guess the answer is simple. All of us generate waste, both small and large. And at some point, it started to become mounting problem in our homes, families, and businesses. Waste is now a global issue that we all need to solve. For example, I love junk food and ordering stuff from Shopee. These wastes are mostly accumulated by plastics. You know, the packaging and the bubble wraps. I rip them apart just like how Hook ripped his shirt and then threw it straight to the trash bin. And what about you guys?
Nearly everything we do leaves behind waste. There are other people who practice a zero waste lifestyle, but not everyone has the privilege to practice this lifestyle. In the time of pandemic, we all know that there are news when they said the pollution lessened, specifically the air pollution in Metro Manila. But we also believe that the solid waste produced in our homes also increased. Just what Ravana said, he used to online shop, also the food delivery, and the one-time plastic also increased in our homes. So I believe solid waste produced in our homes during the pandemic times up to now actually increased.
All right. All of the insights that we have heard from them definitely take points, right? Now, let's further discuss the details and definition about this environmental issue. Pollution is one of the worldwide issues that is currently existing wherever we go, especially in our society. As the population increases, so does the solid waste, whereas some of the trash takes years to decompose, which causes many habitats to be damaged in so many ways. Despite its harmful effects towards the surroundings, most of the people continue to litter. It seems to be impossible in Metro Manila to be a free trash place, brought by the undisciplined people who don't show and segregate waste properly. In 2016, it is reported by MMDA that a total of approximately 9,500 tons per day of waste are thrown by Metro Manila residents. Despite the large daily collection of waste every day, it is still not enough. What do you think, Kenneth?
Mm. As a matter of fact, Manila, the Philippines capital, has a population density of 71,263 people per square kilometer, making it the most populous city proper in the world. So, particularly in densely populated places like Metro Manila, solid waste management in the Philippines has not been solved. Now, one of the most pressing issues in the country's solid waste management is the prevalence of improper garbage disposal and effective waste collection and a dearth of disposal facilities. No? So, without corrective measures, waste from a variety of sources would forever pose threats to human health and the environment in the form of things like polluted water supplies, flooded cities, stale air, and in worse, the introduction of the new diseases. So the daily trash produced in Metro Manila already exceeds 10,000 tons, and this number is projected to be trebled by the year 2030. Now, so much of it is burned in the open, aggravating the already poor air quality, or it is thrown into waterways like rivers, streams, and Manila bays. So Metro Manila is becoming one of the world's top five most polluted megalopolises due to excessive garbage. So approximately 3,600 tons of garbage are thrown away every day in Quezon City. So this is followed by 1,200 tons in Manila and then 113 tons in Caloocan.
It must be disturbing to hear the information that you've just told us, especially today that the increasing population in every society here in Metro Manila is very evident, and the ineffective garbage disposal and dirt of these disposal facilities has been one of the major problems ever since, which some of us may still be ignoring up to the present. Now, what do you think are the causes and effects of these issues?
Based on the world's top climate scientists, agree that the planet's greenhouse gas problem has reached crisis proportions, mainly due to the uncontrollable quantity of garbage generated by urban cities, as well as dangerous toxins produced by excessive use of fossil fuels. The global community recognizes that solid waste management, or SWM, is a critical issue that needs to be addressed. In the Philippines, which has a population of over 100 million people and is continually rising, a lack of solid waste management is leading cause of health and environmental problems. In Metro Manila, many densely populated communities are now suffering major environmental and health issues caused by poor solid waste management system. The amount of waste produced every day is astounding 12,500 tons. It places Metro Manila among the top five most polluted cities globally. Quezon City is the highest source of waste, producing around 3,600 tons per day, followed by Manila and Caloocan, which generate approximately 1,200 and 913 tons per day, respectively. While existing laws require that non-organic garbage as metals and plastic be separated and directed to the recycles, the fact is that the city lacks sufficient recycling facility to collect the city's whole volume of non-organic waste. Additionally, the unauthorized implementation of open dams exposes communities to serious health risks, while uncollected waste makes up about 20% of total waste generated. And the most of metals and plastics directed to the junk shops, which attempt to repurpose them, while those that are unsold dump in the open garbage pits and our waterways. Dumping at landfills has an impact on the air quality because it generates enormous volumes of methane gas. A result of decomposing or decaying waste is also an impact on air quality since hazardous bacteria and pollutants penetrate our water table.
In addition to what Justin has said, the financial system and politics of Metro Manila's waste management system stand in the way of long-term solution to the city's garbage problem. The tipping fees, or the amount of the government pays a dump owner for permission to dump waste at his facility, are the root of the conflict, and the MMDA pays the landfill owner approximately 600 per ton. It is how the dump owner pays back its investment and covers its expenses. Waste-to-energy facilities also need to collect tipping fees as part of their business strategy. The conflict over tipping fees is a reason that waste-to-energy systems have not succeeded in the Philippines. And the unfortunate fact is that certain influential politicians have a vested interest in landfills and refuse to forfeit a percentage of their tipping money. It's a typical instance of corruption getting in the way of the greater good. Additionally, with the limited area of land and such a high volume of waste collected, it's indeed unavoidable that huge heaps of waste will be lying everywhere across Metro Manila, potentially transmitting different types of disease because poorly dumped trash can impose a risk of transmitting disease. Some waste has been recognized as having a higher risk of transmitting disease than others, and some of the waste is medical waste. Because of the large number of waste heap, it is possible to come across one that has a disease that could infect us and could harm Metro Manila City's drainage systems, causing flooding during the rainy season.
Now that we are aware about the cause and effects of this issue, what do you think, on the other hand, are the possible solutions towards this challenge?
Recycling solid waste is one of our greatest solutions. It is a process of turning garbage into a new usable product, thus avoiding the need of disposing it. Obviously, using landfill as a disposal strategy has several drawbacks. Despite all precaution, landfill may pollute our air, water, and land. I believe it possesses a threat to us and has risk attached to it. Numerous materials can be recycled, at least in parts, and recycling may even have financial advantages. To salvage some of those products, like the woods, metal like steel and aluminum, and the plastics, and especially glasses, can all be recycled and given a new purpose.
Also, possible solutions towards solid waste management in Metro Manila. We should start by disciplining ourselves when disposing of waste. We lessen the use of plastics. Follow the laws set by the governments towards waste management and start applying the 3 Rs by reducing, reusing, and recycling our waste. We are able to mitigate the total amount of waste generated here in Metro Manila, thus reducing the disease coming from waste, the destruction of the ecosystem, and the pollution of the environment.
Our government are continuously thinking of new solutions on this pressing issue. One of these is the Solid Waste Management Program by the ENR. Included in this is educating the children, and one of the ways they thought about is the Basura Buster campaign. Basura Buster app is free of use, is specifically designed for children aged 5 to 8. Also, the pushing of House Bill 6973, the creation of Environmental Protection and Enforcement Bureau. The government is continuously putting effort in adjusting and coping in what is happening in our country at the current time. So it is up to us to follow these laws, these policies, and House bills to save our environment, specifically in the Metro Manila.
I must say, everyone prepared so much for this episode just by hearing all the insights and information that we have discussed in here. With that, you've reached the end of another episode of the podcast series. I hope that you've learned something from us today, and always remember that a small action can take into a great help, especially in our environment. This has been your host, Geraldine Buisan, and see you in the next episode. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.